All right, good. So welcome everybody. Welcome Zaharia. It's long time I don't see you. You're still alive.
Ciao, yeah, I am still.
Good. Good news. All right. So it's the first time Zaharia you joined this course. We are talking about the seven deadly sins, but I think it's the first time you're here, right?
Yeah, it's the first time.
Okay, I don't know if you know, but we are going through these seven capital scenes every time we basically we analyze a bit the meaning of the scene. So I will share some concepts, some ideas, some notes I took by studying the scene, and then we do an exercise. Yeah, today we're gonna work about conceptualization. But of course, if you need, if you want, you can interrupt me and ask any questions or say well, something you want to say. And today we are going to talk about wrath. 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 And I checked yesterday, and I think that in Romania you say furie or mania, or manie, something like that, right? How do you say?
Furie.
Furie.
Mhm.
All right. Furia, like the horse of the West. Furia. We have, yeah? Furia.
Mânie.
What?
Mânie.
Manie. Manie. Okay. All right. So, what is it, Roth? Is violent, an excessive emotional reaction uh, to something we tend to perceive offensive or wrong. Uh, So, first idea about today is that wrath is not a simple anger or irritation, it's something more, yeah? Even if sometimes it doesn't imply that wrath is always bad. Sometimes it can be right and necessary also. And but anyway, it's something stronger, and usually it's something that has a destructive element, yeah. So implies usually uh, the loss of rationality, the loss of to think, yeah. You're not able to think anymore usually when you are driven by this emotion, yeah. You have a kind of you lose control basically. And by the way, in Christianity, and especially during Middle Ages, wrath was considered dangerous because it breaks the harmony of the soul. And indeed, when you feel this emotion, usually, like we said before, you lose the capacity of judgment, but also you lose the capacity to stay, like say, in balance. Yeah, you destroy the balance, and also you tend to put your ego above the community. Yeah, you lose the, let's say, you lose the idea of doing something well for the others. And about this, I want to bring the example of a very popular classic wrath, which is Achilles' wrath. I think you know Achilles, yeah, the Greek hero. And by the way, I don't know if you read in Italian we say Iliade. Iliade is the poem wrote maybe by Homero that speaks about the wrath of Achilles. Yeah, and I don't know if you know why Achilles got wrath. Just to be short, I will tell you that he got so angry because Agamemnon, the leader of the Greek army, commits, let's say, a, a big injustice, yeah, which was the idea to get his slave, because Agamemnon had to return back his slaves, Chryses, yeah, was because their father want his back, and their father was like a priest of Apollo, so he want his back, and Agamemnon had to do it, otherwise he could lose a lot of soldiers and men. But in order to recompensate himself, he decide to get Briseis, yeah, the price of Achilles, which was the best warrior of all the soldiers. And by doing this, Agamemnon breaks a kind of a sacred code, when the honor basically, and he humiliated Achilles because it was really unfair and arbitrary. In a way, this decision is like if Agamemnon said to Achilles, "Okay, you don't value, your value doesn't matter, yeah, and I can take whatever I want from you, yeah." So his honor was attacked publicly, and his reaction was excessive, let's say, and harmful at the same time, because Achilles refused to fight for the Greek army. He didn't want to fight anymore. And by refusing to fight, since he was the best one, the strongest one, basically he let many innocent Greek soldiers die, only to punish Agamemnon. So was the famous Achilles wrath. Yeah. And by the way, in the story, special for a many for a lot of time, Achilles didn't change his mind, and this is interesting because wrath make usually the person rigid and unable to change his position. Yeah, so Achilles stayed trapped inside his pride. Yeah, until happened something to his best friend Patroclus, when his best friend Patroclus decide to um, get in the war instead of Achilles by faking to be Achilles, and at one point he died. He got killed, and in that moment, Achilles decide to go back to war. Yeah. So this story shows how wrath is a vice. Yeah. What's wrong about wrath? And what's wrong is that wrath dominates the reason and will at the same time. And wrath basically takes away from humans. And here is is Achilles, which is semi-humans, semi-divine. But anyway, wrath takes away freedom, a part of the freedom. Yeah. And what characterize wrath is that wrath is a form of hybris. I don't know if you know hybris. Hybris basically is the main, let's say, sin in for the Greek people, which is about exaggeration. Is the lack of measure. Yeah, and so this is the story about Achilles that shows how wrath can be bad for humans. How can make people lose their mind, lose their control, and create a problem for others, but also for themselves. Because another aspect of wrath is the self-destructive. Yeah, is self-destructive. And usually, when we feel wrath and we react in a proportional way, um, okay, of course, we try to get our revenge. We try to create problem to the other, yeah. But usually we create problem to ourselves, and usually we tend to destroy our life somehow. And if you take again this story of Achilles, uh, okay, the first time he got very angry against Agamemnon. Okay, he decided to leave, to stop to fight, and his absence caused a real crisis in the Greek army. Yeah. So Patroclus, as you know, puts on Achilles' armor to help the Greeks. But because of that, Patroclus is killed. So basically, the consequence of Achilles' wrath is that he kills indirectly the person he loved the most. So basically, he caused a big pain in his own life. So there is a self-destruction element in the wrath. And don't forget, by the way, that Achilles knew already the prophecy. He knew that if he had to fight, he decided to fight, he would have get the eternal glory, yeah. But at the same time, he would have died young, basically, yeah. On the opposite, he could decide to live long, but without fame. And basically, when Patroclus died, Achilles chose revenge, chose to fight again, and basically, in a way, he consciously chose his own death. Yeah. So basically, when we are driven by this big, strong emotion, we tend to cause problem in our own life somehow. Yeah, not just to the other one. Any questions? Any comments about this? I have some more concept to share, but before I want to leave space for you. Alex, I see you raising your hand.
Uh, I was wondering if this destruction is completely and totally senseless, or it has some purpose to it. The wrath that brings destruction, is it senseless?
Okay, so you are asking what's, let's say, what can be behind this destructive and also self-destructive uh, tendency in wrath, right?
Action, not just tendency, but manifestation of
Yeah, yeah.
destruction.
Okay.
Yes.
By the way, it's an interesting question. You have an hypothesis to answer or no?
Yeah, as I was asking, an idea came to me that it has the purpose to discharge some negative feeling. That would be humiliation, for example. You feel humiliated, so then the purpose of acting wrathfully would be to discharge, to get rid of, to replace humiliation with something else, which is better. And
Yeah.
maybe that's the...
Yes, that's one thing. Basically, it's a way to, let's say, try to take over something uh, that is attacking your ego in a way, yeah, like humiliation, like Achilles in a way, been got humiliated, and he wanted to, in a way, to get his honor back by showing how important was him for the army, and by showing that without him they couldn't win the war. Yeah. So yes, it could a way to affirm your ego again when you feel the ego is under attack. But I propose to you, Alex, that also wrath can be seen as a way to express the impotence you're feeling. Yeah, usually I don't know you, but when I feel impotent, I get angry. Yeah, and when I get angry is a way to refuse that impotent feeling. Yeah. So, and by the way, you anticipate what I was wanted to say, the psychological meaning of wrath, because behind wrath there are a lot of different emotion. First, there is a deeper vulnerability. Yeah, there is a weakness in the wrath. Wrath usually is not an expression or of strength. Yeah, but also there is fear, there is pain, there is frustration, and there is, like I told you, a sense of impotence. Yeah. So basically, when this emotion cannot be expressed, they tend to explode in an aggression way that have this distraction consequence on things, on people, on your life. I don't know if I answer you, Alex.
You answered me in many different ways, and now I get the main idea I get is that when you can get angry by some phenomenon, something angers you, you feel powerless or impotent, then you try to take power back somehow, and you do it through brute force or brutal, senseless action, like destruction.
Yes, in a way, when you break something, you have the impression to be powerful, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Or also when you, in a way, you create some suffering for others, for example, you have the same impression. I don't know if you observe uh, little children. I have the chance to observe little children for since a while, and I saw that they get fun when they usually they get fun when they have the impression to be powerful. And for example, when they create some suffering to you, some bothering, they have fun. They are happy because they see that what they do creates a consequence in the situation in your life and around themselves. So I agree with you. I think that to break stuff can be a way, at least to have the impression that you are still powerful once you have the impression to lose power. And I think it is very common, by the way. I don't know, sometimes it happens to me that I swear, and swear in a way is a way to break some rules with your word. Yeah, sometimes it's enough to swear to create a pain in someone else, basically. Yeah, and it's a way to create suffering, or to, let's say, to show that you are not completely powerful, but usually powerless, sorry. But usually I swear when I don't have anything else to do, when I cannot find a solution, or when I feel that I cannot do anything about something, so I swear. So I think there is a psychological compensation dynamic behind the wrath and the destructiveness of the wrath. Make sense? No? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Other question, Anka? Alex inspired you with the question?
Yes. Well, Alex asked if wrath makes any sense, and it's we find the explanation that it could be a way to get the power back.
I think that's one meaning, yes.
Yeah, and I was wondering what's the intention of Alex's question, because if making sense means, yeah, there is an explanation for it, otherwise it would not happen. But that doesn't mean that it's the right way to get power back.
Wait, so Anka, you want to know which was the hidden intention in Alex's question, right?
No, hidden. Yeah, I did not understand what does it make sense mean? Because yeah, it makes sense because there it's an explanation. Otherwise, it wouldn't happen. But then, what else making sense means?
Okay, so I let Alex to explain. I think it's
I was wondering if it serves any purpose, or if if expressing wrath, doing wrathful things would serve a purpose which has sense for you, then it's somehow reasonable to be wrathful in a moment. Otherwise, it would be completely senseless, idiotic, mindless distraction.
So you mean by making sense means be reasonable, not
Having a
an
reason,
explanation.
having a reason and a purpose.
Are you okay with the answer, Anka, or no?
Mm,
No. Why?
no,
What's wrong? What's
it,
up?
it's the purpose. When you say having a purpose, it means that I'm transforming something bad, like lack of power, into something. It's like an I trans. How do you say?
Okay,
I
Anka, I mean, I cannot understand you right now. I invite you. Can you conceptualize the problem you see in Alex's question? Since today we are focusing on conceptualization, can you find a name for this problem?
um explanation.
Okay, wait. Do you agree that the explanation is not the problem? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you say a name that identify a problem?
Um. I think I have a problem with the definition of reasonable that
All
I
right.
gave.
What can you say? Which is the problem you have?
That Alex says that reasonable means I mean that being excessive anger, having excess anger is reasonable in because it solves another problem that we have, for example, being humiliated.
Okay, and what's the problem? Is that in that case you don't think you are reasonable, right?
Yeah, I don't think you're reasonable.
Okay, but can you distinguish, let's say, do you agree that with the idea that in behind every phenomenon there could be a reason that explain it?
Yeah, but it
Wait,
yes,
before
yes,
the but, do you
yes.
agree that you can explain, at least this is a principle in philosophy, is called, I think, principle of sufficient reason. Okay, there is always a reason to explain something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then this is something, and something else is that how you behave is reasonable, which means that is following something that is coherent, makes sense. Makes sense. Not that it's not you cannot explain, yeah, but that is coherent with the reason. Yeah, like for example, Socrates was trying to distinguish the idea that made sense from the idea that made not much sense. That it does imply that those ideas that didn't make sense so much, you cannot find a reason to explain it. Like we do in practice, we try to also to explain why sometimes people have crazy ideas, crazy phantoms their mind. Yeah, but can you distinguish these two, let's say, meaning of reason or no?
Yes, one is explanation, and one is acting according to reason.
Okay, and so where if you can distinguish these two problems, you see again the problem, or the problem is solved. About Alex's question, I mean.
Yeah, I think Alex asked if there is a reason, like an explanation, which is, I think it's obvious that it is, otherwise we wouldn't do it. But it doesn't mean that it's the reasonable way to act in case of being humiliated to express wrath.
Okay. Yeah, I tend to agree. Alex, would you agree with Anka or no?
On her distinction between being looking for explanation or looking for reason? Because
Yeah, first, you accept this distinction?
yes.
Okay. And secondly, Anka, you were asking if also when you act not according to reason, yeah? Can you formulate again the question to Alex?
Yes, if you're not acting according to reason, is it? I don't think I have a question. I just wanted to make a difference between an explanation for why would you do that and the reasonable way to act in case
Okay.
of
But I
feeling.
think Alex agreed with that distinction.
Yeah.
Okay, Alex?
Yeah, I agree that there is a distinction, but when I asked the question, the distinction was not so clear to me. And it's more interesting to find the more difficult perspective. If wrath can be reasonable in the sense of reason, not in the sense of explanation.
Okay, so let me translate, Anka. I think Alex, he was looking for the positive and reasonable wrath, right?
Yes.
Okay. By the way, I wanted to discuss about this later, but since now you're bringing up this topic, I will anticipate, yeah? And by studying a bit, I found yes, it's possible. So Alex's intuition was right, yeah? So Anka, you want to know how wrath can be positive and reasonable?
Yes.
But can you imagine how?
I'm thinking in immediate danger, when there is an immediate danger, for example.
Okay, and what's positive about wrath when there is an immediate danger?
It gives you strength.
Okay,
So you
strength.
act. Yes.
Okay, yeah. And by the way, Aristotle speaks about this positive wrath. I think he speaks I forgot his the way. I think he calls his in Italian is mansuetudine. Yeah. Mansuetudine is basically the capacity to get angry when it is required from the situation. Yeah. When there is, for example, a big injustice against you, against something, against someone, if you feel this positive wrath, but you don't let the wrath to take over you, but you are controlling this wrath that you feel in order to, for example, to fight this back, in order to be strong, like you said, Anka. Yeah. So in a way, there is a positive wrath when you feel the emotion, but you don't react straight away. Yeah. And you use this strong emotion as a kind of fuel to be strong, to for example, to bring to make a war in time against something bad. Yeah. I remember in my life, for example, Alex knows that at school I got some problem in a school, and for me it was a real big injustice, and I think I felt wrath in myself, and I used that wrath to make a war, a legal war, against these people. Yeah, and by the way, without that strong emotion in myself, I wouldn't have succeed to stand against these people, against this system. Yeah, I would have basically give up straight away because I was just one guy against an entire system. But in a way, this wrath give me the strength, the motivation to keep fighting. Yeah. So in this case, wrath is good. Yeah. Yeah. Wrath is not bad. In a way, we have to distinguish the emotion of wrath from the reaction we take out of that emotion. Yeah. So if the reaction is in a way controlled by the reason, yeah, the wrath is good. The problem is when the wrath takes over reason, and in that case, it becomes unreasonable. So it becomes against our interest and self-destructive, like I said before. Anka?
And what is the difference, what you said, what you explained with your what happened at school? Why isn't it anger? Like you said at the beginning that there is anger and there is excessive anger, which is wrath. And in wrath, that implies a loss of rationality, like you mentioned Achilles' case.
Okay,
So
the
what would
question
be
is,
the difference between anger and wrath? And if in your case, if you can contain that anger and not express it, is it still wrath?
yes. By the way, okay, now you are putting you're doing more question. Let's use again Achilles. Yeah. So if you think when he felt wrath at the beginning, he didn't broke something. He didn't break something. Yeah. He just refused to fight. So basically, we can distinguish passive wrath from aggressive wrath. Yeah. So when you're passive, but you feel this big rage inside yourself, you don't explode. In a way, there is an implosion. Yeah. You feel frustrated. You feel this hate. Yeah. And if you are not able to control this wrath, this big emotion, intense emotion, you can end up to be frozen, to be paralyzed, basically. Yeah, you can be able, you can find yourself not to be able to act anymore. So in a way, you got impotent. You know, there are at least two opposite way to get impotent. One is to lose control, yeah, and to do something like chaotic and destructive, and then you ruin yourself, your life. And the opposite is that you cannot do anything anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But
this
in
is,
both cases is the loss of rationality.
yeah, in the both case, passive and aggressive wrath. But of course, this has two examples of negative wrath. Yeah. So in a way, since you were asking about positive, the different, yeah, the between rage and wrath, a positive wrath, I guess, yeah, is the capacity to control the reaction. You control the reaction, and you do something that is not against yourself. In a way, you use that emotion, which is not simple anger, because it's more intense than anger, but you use that emotion to, in a way, direct your actions. So, in a way, is the difference between reaction and action. In the reaction, you're not decide how to react. You basically do it instinctively, yeah, out of the emotion. But if you're able to, in a way, manage that emotion, you can control the reaction. And when you control the reaction, you're not reacting anymore, you're acting, you're deciding how to act. So to answer you, I would say that positive wrath is that intense emotion of big rage and anger that you are able to manage and to transform in an action that has a more a positive element, positive consequence on yourself. Make
Okay.
sense? No.
Yeah, this is the, I mean, this is the definition of rationality in how to handle emotion, because what you explained is also for excessive desire, for excessive everything that you don't let that you don't let yourself controlled by. So yeah, okay.
Okay, you have a question? We have some doubts?
Yeah, well, yeah, if I would summarize, I would say that there doesn't exist, positive wrath doesn't exist. It's just the capacity of the human to not be let controlled by that excessive emotion. And it's the same with desire, excessive desire, or other emotions.
Okay, yes. But the capacity of control, that emotion makes the difference. And in a way, if you're able to control the emotion, you can say that, oh, I was right to feel that emotion. And thanks to that emotion, I did something that I would have done. So in that case, you can speak, some philosophers speak about positive wrath. But mainly, I agree with you, we are not able to control this emotion, and it tends to take over. And that's why, by the way, Christian put this emotion in the deadly sin, because you can kill yourself. There are people that kill themselves because they were so angry that they couldn't control their reaction, yeah? Or they killed some people because of wrath, or they ruined their life just for a moment of wrath, yeah? And by the way, Plato and Aristotle speaks about suicide, and also the suicide out of wrath, yeah? That's one case. So I agree with you, but at the same time, if you're able to control that emotion, in a way, assume a positive dimension. Otherwise, is mainly negative.
Okay.
Have you tried wrath in your life, Anka?
Not so much.
No? You know what? I have the impression you are the person that doesn't explode outside, but tend to implode inside, right?
Yes.
By the way, that's called the passive wrath. So you experience passive wrath, right?
Yes.
And why, just for fun, why do you prefer, if you, I don't know if you decide, but why you have this tendency to implode instead of explode, do you think?
Well, because my father was a very angry person, and we saw that it's not good to express anger.
Oh, now I see why you didn't like the idea that exists a positive wrath.
Um,
For you,
no,
wrath is being just negative, right? In your experience, you didn't encounter a positive wrath in your experience.
I could understand positive anger, the concept of anger when there is a limit situation, yeah.
Okay.
But wrath, like it's explained here, it seems that it adds up with something. It's not just immediate anger. It's something like in case of Achilles was something prolonged. It's excessive in the sense of prolonged and maintained.
Yeah, okay. But even passive
Which
wrath
is
can
not
be long and maintained, even more than
yes,
aggressive wrath.
yes, yes.
I know some people at school, they carry this intense and deep rage inside, and this rage, this wrath, takes different form. For example, avoidance. When you basically try to exclude someone. You don't say hello. Every time you have this passive aggressiveness against someone. Yeah, that is a form of passive wrath can take, or to be cold all the time against someone, or not to respond, or sometimes, maybe it's your case, passive wrath can take the form of excessive self-blame. When you blame yourself too much for too long, that's a way that the wrath can express itself when it's passive. You don't explode, but you, in a way, yeah, you create a sufferance, a pain constantly inside yourself by self-blaming yourself. Or, for example, another way, which is very common in Italy, I have the impression is common also in Romania, especially among women, is to excess sacrifice yourself for others. That's another way to express passive wrath, which is interesting because when you see people that sacrifice themselves for others, usually we think that they do it out of love, but actually they could do it out of wrath. So in a way, it's a way to self-hate, to hate yourself.
But wrath against yourself.
Yeah. Maybe that's your experience of wrath in yourself. Oh no, Anka, that was the experience you saw before.
I don't tend to sacrifice for others.
Okay, but you tend to self-blame.
Yes.
Okay, that's one way. Why not? I mean, yeah. So you prefer to make yourself suffering instead of explode like your father. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Why not? Why not? You are happy with this strategy?
No.
Okay. So why don't you change, Anka? Why don't you do something different? Why don't you do like your father? Maybe it was better.
Yeah, well, I eliminated people that get me angry
Okay,
from my life.
that's a way to to express passive wrath. In a way, you kill people without killing them. You kill people by eliminate them from your list, basically. It's a symbolic murder, basically, what you do. You know?
Murder. Yeah.
Yeah, murder. Okay, so since we are here, I'm happy to tell everybody that Anka didn't kill us symbolically yet, but who knows in the future. Okay. All right. By the way, speaking about passive and aggressive wrath, I think it's interesting to analyze a bit aggressive wrath from a psychological point of view. Yeah, because aggressive wrath, like we said, tend to express itself by exploding outward from an external way. Yeah, for example, by breaking stuff, by hurting other people. Yeah, but it can express itself also in a self-destructive visible way. For example, drinking or using drugs can be a way to express aggressive wrath against yourself. And a lot of um, people that have problem with drugs, yeah, that can be a problem of inner deep wrath in themselves, yeah. And also bullying, for example. Bullying is another way to express wrath against the other, or vandalism as well. And of course, in general, self-harm. Yeah. But of course, there are different ways to self-harm. Anka, you prefer self-blame, which is a way to self-harm. But there are also people that cut cut themselves, for example. That's a more aggressive way to express self-harm. So I think it's interesting to see that there is a passive way that maybe usually we don't consider as an expression of wrath. Yeah. So in a way, aggressive is more you attack the other, yeah, or you attack yourself. Why in the passive you can punish yourself, or you can punish the other in a more invisible way. For example, by withdrawing yourself, by creating absence of yourself, like by the way Achilles did the first time he had this problem against Agamemnon. Yeah. All right. Let me add. Any other questions? No. Okay. And okay, let me just propose now that okay, I was checking the idea that about the passive wrath is low and is hidden. In a way, there is the idea that it takes more time sometimes to express the passive wrath. Yeah. I read somewhere that is more typical by women, yeah, usually. Then they take, we say in Italian, vendetta, fredda vendetta, cold revenge, yeah. So in a way you don't express the wrath straight away, but it takes time. Sooner or later, even in a few years, that person will have the revenge back, yeah. And so passive wrath can imply a lot of manipulation, a kind of emotional corrosion, yeah. And the opposite of wrath is patience, yeah. which is not a weakness. Usually, when we see a person that has patience, it seems that he's weak. But patience actually is a virtue, so it's a sign of strength. It's a calm strength. For example, I see at schools many teachers got angry, yeah, and I noticed that it's because they cannot stand their own emotion, basically. So in a way, they express weakness by get angry, yeah. So if you're not angry, if you have a power on students, usually you don't need to get angry. You can manipulate them, you can play with them, you can decide against them, but you don't need to get angry, yeah. So patience is a sign of strength, is a sign that you can control your reactions, and patience give you the power to transform also the anger. If you're patient, doesn't mean that you don't feel anger. You can feel anger, but if you're patient, you can modulate your reaction, and you can preserve your energy to create a powerful response to something or to someone. Yeah. Even if I was noticing in this last time at school that sometimes patience can hide a sort of impotence. There are some teachers that they claim to be patient, but the reality is that they don't have the courage or the strength to impose their decision on the class. So they call this patience, but I don't think it's patience. I think it's mainly the incapacity to take over the student. Yeah, in that case, these teachers hide the weakness behind the, let's say, the excuse of patience. Yeah, but the real patience is not impotence. The real patience is the capacity to control yourself and to do something, to act, basically. Yeah. All right, that was the last idea I wanted to share with you. Of course, there could do many more. And before I propose you the exercise about today, let me ask you again if you want to add something about this, let's say, reflections about wrath. Did you see yourself in some dynamic being described? No? Maybe now you are passive, in the passive wrath. You don't want to respond. Okay. Okay. If you don't want to share now, you were gonna share with the exercise I'm going to propose to you. Because now, oh, by the way, we have the doc. Luisa, you have the doc? No?
Oh, Alex should have it.
Let me find one.
Okay. While Alex looks for the doc, now I want to propose you an exercise which implies the capacity of the skill of conceptualization by asking you a question, and I would like to each of you to answer by writing in the doc. And the question is, what makes you angry the most? What makes you angry the most? And I invite you to answer. I know it's difficult, but it's part of the exercise, with just one word, maximum two, let's say, yeah? Maximum 2 words. So the question is, what makes you angry the most? You can start anyway. If we don't have the doc, you can write in the chat here. You can.
Well, here you go.
Oh, thank
I
you.
made one.
Okay, please put your name before the answer. Okay, see Zach answer, Anka as well, Luisa. Alex. 2 words by the way, Alex. I know it was too beautiful not to write that. Yes, it was too.
Couldn't find the concept. I
Okay,
bet the Japanese have a word for that.
which is?
I don't know. It's a joke.
Okay. Bogdan, do you have yours?
You could have chosen Idiocracy, like that movie.
Mm,
Oh, by the way, since your idea is seems that interested the group, I propose we start from you, Alex. So
okay.
first, can you find a concept beside the Idiocracy, which is nice movie, that can explain this phenomenon that makes you angry the most?
Oh, God. Dumb luck. No, not luck. But no.
Okay, let's try together, Alex. Can you
Yes.
explain why
Yeah.
when a stupid person get success, you get so angry?
Because I see that success as unmerited.
All right. So I
Yeah.
think that's the idea behind. Can you what can you formulate the concept now?
False merit or
Okay, let
unmerited.
uh,
I could also
I think demerit is the concept, right?
demerit.
Demerit.
Demerit. Yeah.
Yeah, demerit, right?
Can I suggest meritocracy?
Meritocracy is the opposite.
Okay.
Yeah, so is the lack of meritocracy. I think
Yeah,
what
yeah, I understand, but demerit, does this exist?
Yes, in Italian we say demerito is when
Okay.
you don't deserve something, but you get
Okay.
anyway. You don't have in Romanian? No?
Mm,
How do you say in Romanian demerit?
Nemeritat.
Okay, you have the concept. The lack of merit.
Mhm.
Okay, and uh, what's wrong with the merit, Alex? Why cannot you accept the merit?
Because it's unjust in relation to those who put in the work to obtain success.
Okay,
It's
so you don't like
unfair.
unfairness, right?
Yes.
And which is your typical reaction when you find yourself in this situation when you see people that don't deserve something but they get success anyway?
Envy.
Oh, envy.
Yes.
Okay. But okay, so envy, I mean, you don't get angry basically. You start envy.
And some, no, there's anger also, but also some envy. Anger and envy.
Okay. But this envy makes you do something, or you just stay there and you would like to get what you deserve more than them?
Funnily enough, it sometimes inspires me to work harder, this
Okay.
envy.
I think you missed the session about envy, and in a way there is a positive envy, and the positive envy is that feeling and that emotion that push you to do something in order to, I don't know, to get what you want. The real problem with envy is that if you don't do anything you get impotent and you just complain because you want what they get and you don't, you know.
Hmm. But there is the anger also there, which is problematic in me when I see demerit
And how do you express this anger?
in passive way.
Oh, in a
In,
passive
in
way, against you or against the other?
I tend to discredit the other.
Ah, okay, okay.
That's why I call them stupid.
So basically, you complain and you try to get the other away from that false merit.
Yes,
Okay,
further convince myself of this injustice.
okay. And you feel better at the end when you do?
No, it's not a thoughtful reaction, and it's just a reaction.
Okay. Now I would like to propose to explore. I mean, uh, I'm not saying that it is not reasonable, your emotion, but can you try to say something positive about the idea of demerit? I know it's not very popular, but try. What's good about demerit? It's funny because at school
That's
I'm fighting for merit and I founded a group of teachers that want to defend merit. But now, why not? We are playing, thinking together. So can you help me to see the positive side of demerit, the lack of merit?
yes. I think someone who doesn't deserve something and gets it um, could could we could see this act as the randomness of the universe coming coming up. So randomness has a chance of making you win or making the other win.
Okay.
It doesn't, it's equal, the randomness of the universe.
Okay. So in a way, not everything depends on our control or actions, basically. There is something else.
Yeah, there's this randomness who sometimes gives us good things or bad things, and because it's random, we shouldn't take it as something negative.
Okay. You mean from a global view, it can be an equal way to share the merit among
Yes,
people, right?
yes.
So why you cannot see this when you feel that anger? What prevent you from this thought?
I think it's because too I'm comparing myself to people who are too similar to me. So it's hard to take a distance and see the
O-
global.
Okay, so you are attached too much to your ego then in order to be able to detach yourself and to get this overview, basically.
Yes, my ego, and because I see myself in others, it's also about my ego. If I compare myself with others who are similar to me, it's still about me.
Okay, can you conceptualize now what, in one word, what to prevent you from, let's say, accepting more the merit?
Well, attachment, but I'm not happy with
Okay,
just
attachment. I propose to you pride.
ego, pride.
Someone else want to propose something to Alex?
Look,
Be
Zaharia.
generous. Zaria, I think you wanted to say something else. Now I will let you speak, Zaria. Just let me finish with Alex. Okay, so choose among ego, attachment, and pride.
Attachment,
Attachment.
attachment, over involvement. It's still about over involvement, taking myself too seriously.
Okay, if you think pride is one reason why
Okay.
people tend to take themselves too serious and they cannot detach from themselves. They give too much importance to themselves as an ego instead of seeing the situation from other perspectives.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why, by
Pride.
the way, pride was considered the mother of all the sins. Yeah, because from pride, all the sins were generated. Also, wrath. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's pride is something about the you're focused completely on yourself.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And in a way, if you see also in philosophy, I see a lot among teachers, they're too pride to answer some stupid question about some philosophical practitioners. Yeah. And so pride is can be an obstacle for thinking, an obstacle in your case to get detachment from yourself and to realize that maybe the merit is not let's say a big issue. Yeah. And by the way, maybe I have the same problem since I'm fighting against the merit at school. Yeah.
Against people who don't deserve things and they get them and you get angry like me.
Uh, y-
Or
yeah. For example, for students that they pass the year without learning actually something. I'm fighting against these people and this system that let the student pass the year without learning. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean, I'm not saying it is wrong to do that, to do this, but maybe to look from another point of view, like you did, could be a way to still fighting against the merit, but without that, you know, that bad feeling inside that, in a way, kill yourself, you inside, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. To accept some to let it also be demerit as one of the things of the world. To have it's
Yeah,
there, so
yeah,
just accept.
exactly. To accept unfairness, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, as part of this randomness we live in.
In a way, there is pride behind. Like, I cannot live in a unfairness anymore. Yeah. When I am there, everything must be fair. Yeah. I think it is there is a lot of pride behind, also in myself.
Pride because you would think you deserve the success or the
Because
justice.
I want to behave like God, that is fair. Yeah. God is fair. God is the only one always fair in a way. Yeah. And when I want to be fair and to defend fairness and merit all the time, in a way, I'm not accepting my human side, yeah, my weakness, that I cannot have the control every time about this dynamic, yeah. And when I don't have it, I get really angry, and sometimes yeah, I can suffer about this.
Okay, so then there is this ideal of fairness, and you look for fairness, complete, absolute fairness in the world, and you yourself also want to be fair.
Yeah, do you see the pride behind or no?
Yes, a
Yeah.
lot. Like probably you, Andrea, figure yourself a very fair and honest guy.
Yeah, I mean, when I do teaching, that's my image about myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is pride behind my image of teacher. Yeah.
So then maybe you, to reconcile with the demerit, you should find how you are not so fair. Stop, maybe think of yourself in which ways are you unjust or unfair.
Yeah, but like you did before, you gave me a nice reason to in a way to accept more the merit, or to feel less angry when I see some demerit dynamic at school. No.
Okay, I was suggesting something else. So I can reconciliate more with unfairness if I think about my own way of being unfair with others.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Okay? I'm
Yeah,
not a
okay.
just.
That's another way. Yes, yeah.
And by comparison with you, I don't think I am a fair guy.
Oh, okay. By the way, since you have a problem with people that get married without deserve it, never happened to you that you got some merit without deserve it?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can you give an example just for fun?
For example, when my parents um, supported me, or I found 100 euros on the street, uh, or somebody favored me just because they like me.
And how do you feel in that occasions?
Wow, the best, very lucky. Like,
You're really unfair with unfairness, by the way. Okay,
I'm
so yeah.
I'm unfair with unfairness.
Yeah, because you don't treat unfairness always in the same way. When it happened to you, you feel the best. When it happened to the others, you think they shouldn't get it, right?
Yes. Hypocrite.
Yes, yes. So, did you reconcile a bit with unfairness and the merit, Alex?
Yeah, yes.
Nice. Okay. Anyone
In
want to ask
two
something
ways.
to Alex about this? No? Or to say something about this problem? Somebody identify with Alex? No? No. Okay. Zaria?
I wanted to so I don't know what sound is this. Uh, I wanted to say, how can the merit be good?
It's a question.
I wanted to answer to this. Uh,
How demerit can be good.
yeah,
Okay, go on. Yes.
it can be good if it's a test for people to see if they will act to uh, to make the world more fair. When they see unfairness, to act and do it fair, make the world fair.
Okay, so what the demerit it can be seen as a text as a test to act in order to create more fairness.
Yeah, when people see someone that is that has success not in a fair way uh, to act and make justice. Uh,
Okay, so you react to an unfair factor by acting more in a more fair way. Yeah?
yeah,
Okay, but I think you're a bit cheating here because in what you say, fairness is better than fairness. Than fairness, you see the positive way in unfairness just because can push you to be more unfair, more fair. Sorry.
yeah,
Okay, so you still see fair as better than unfair. So you didn't.
yeah.
Okay, so you didn't, let's say, shift the paradigm. You see, you are still in the same paradigm because you're using unfairness to be more fair. So you 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 didn't
Yeah,
switch
true.
paradigm. Yeah. Okay. You have the same problem of Alex. You don't like the merit.
Yeah,
Okay. I know in theater the merit is very popular. Yeah. At least in
mm,
Italy right now, there is a lot there are a lot of issues in the theater world because a lot of uh, let's say theater teams they don't get success because they are good, but because they know important people that provide funds and money for them. So there is a big issue of the merit now in these years in Italy in the theater. I don't know if like that in Romania as well, Daria.
I don't know, honestly.
Okay. If you don't know, you're a bit out from the big dynamic. Do you act, right, Zaria?
Yeah, I was in the theater school in Romania.
Ah, okay. But do you do that for living now or no?
No, no, no.
Ah, okay. That's why maybe you don't know very well how it works there. Yeah. Okay. So someone else about this? No? Bogdan?
Yes, I was inspired by Zachariah's idea,
Okay,
and
why? Which idea? But first.
that we need demerit because it helped us train our moral system. And I think it's a very, I think it's a very good idea, and it's true with all other uh, bad. Uh,
Okay, but
all other
what do you think you need in order to transform the demerit into a drive for fairness? Since you like this idea, can you say what is required? You know what? Because in Italy we have the opposite problem, Bogdan. When we see a lot of demerit, we tend to say, okay, so fuck it. I'm not wasting my energy. I will try to get it, even if I don't uh,
yeah.
deserve it, because otherwise other people would get it without deserve it. So in a way, the demerit becomes an excuse not to not to be moral in Italy. Yeah, but you are proposing the opposite idea. So I'm asking you, what do you think is required in order to transform the demerit in a drive for uh, fairness?
I think the quantity is important. If it's
It's a lot, a lot of demand.
just a little bit, then it's helpful. If it's too much, then you are overwhelmed.
Okay, so in Italy we have too much maybe of the merit. Okay, why not? Zaria, you wanted to add something about this idea?
Yes, I wanted to add that uh, if if this is a test from God, then it would make sense. The my idea of making the unfairness fair. It's a test from God to to you to make the world more fair.
Okay, so but you are a bit in a religious perspective here. Like, you know Abram? You know Abram?
Abram
Yeah, Abram, the Jewish
Abraham.
guy.
from the Bible.
Yes. You know that God
Uh,
asked him to kill his only son. Do you think it's fair?
I don't remember. Yeah.
Okay, but okay, I think most of the people here can remember this Bible story about God asking Abram to kill his own only son. Do you think it's fair?
Hmm. Maybe for a higher purpose.
Okay, what can be the purpose there, you think?
Hmm. Saving the world.
Wait, how can Abram saving the world by killing his only son?
Maybe his own son would become a dictator,
Okay, okay, okay.
antichrist.
Yeah, okay, we don't know that, but can be a test to check the faith of Abram to God.
Yes.
How much Abram loves God in order to sacrifice even his only son. Yeah. So in that case, unfairness is, like you said, a test to show something good. Of course, it's a bit dangerous because I don't know if God would speak with me and ask the same. I would have some doubt that maybe it's not God, but it's devil. But okay, who knows? Okay, but so you remain to your idea that immoral and demerit and unfairness can be seen as a training to be a better person. Yeah. Okay, I would like that this idea would spread in Italy because usually it's the opposite here, like I said. But maybe in Romania it's working. Yeah, it's working. There is a lot of meritocracy in Romania, or no, Zaria? There is no, right?
No, no.
There's a lot of corruption there as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. By the way, I was checking. I saw that Romania in the last couple of years had a big economic increase, much more than Italy, by the way. So you are in a good, let's say, economic times over there. I don't know if
Not anymore.
not anymore.
Not
Is
No.
anymore.
just finished? Already finished?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. But at least you had good ears. Yeah, okay. Anyway, something else about this? Alex is an
Was that
example, by the way. He's taking a lot of money from a Romanian state to do his stuff, yeah, to do his stuff.
is that merited or not merited?
What do you think? You think
I
you
think it's merited.
merited? And
That's
how did you get this merit?
by slowly working towards it and learning and failing and learning and failing
Okay, okay.
in 8 years.
So basically, you fail so much that you deserve to have success. Yeah.
No. No, I learned because I failed, I learned and I improved and
Yeah, yeah, okay. By the way, a lot of people that become good in something, when they get interviewed, they say that the what I mean, their secret is that they fail more than others, basically. Yeah. So learn to fail, accept failure, and is maybe the most important things to become good in anything. Yeah. So keep failing, Alex. Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm failing hard,
Okay. All right.
failing at life.
Okay, so let's take somebody else, another answer to the question, what makes you angry the most? Who want to share? Bogdan, you want to share? Yeah.
Avoiding responsibility.
Okay, so irresponsible, you don't stand the irresponsible people, right?
Yes.
And that makes you angry a lot.
Yes.
And why did
It,
you get so angry when you see irresponsible people?
because I see that a lot of harm is done by people that don't that avoid responsibility. It
Okay,
happens at work
it happens
mostly. At work.
at work. Okay,
Yes.
so okay, you cannot accept the idea that because someone is responsible, other people suffer because of it, right?
Yes, there is a lot of with small effort we could do we could avoid some big problems.
Yeah, okay,
Yes, yeah, this is what you said. Yes.
yeah. But let me ask you, is more the irresponsibility or is more the unfair suffering that you cannot accept?
I don't think it's the unfairness. It's the
I said unfair suffering.
unfair suffering.
Let me ask you, if you are not
No.
responsible, yeah, but your irresponsibility doesn't affect anybody in a bad way, do you still have a problem with the responsibility or no?
Mm, No,
Okay, so it's more
no.
the consequence that you see in
Yes.
irresponsibility. That you agree that the consequence you cannot stand is that the unfair suffering that the irresponsibility create on others, or is something else?
I think it's the fact that you, so even if it's a small thing that needs to be done, you cannot do it for other people. This is what, if someone has to do a thing and he doesn't assume his responsibility, you cannot do it for him.
Why
He
not?
has to
Why not? You cannot
do
do it.
it
Why not?
because you cannot take his response. It's his role. You cannot take his.
Okay,
It's
but
not
what is the worst
appropriate.
consequence you see in irresponsible behavior? The worst thing can happen. Try to conceptualize your answer, Bogdan.
Yes. So uh, failure,
Fa-
failure of the team.
Okay. Failure of the team. But okay. Do you agree that when there is a failure of a team because one behaves in a responsible way, there is unfairness there?
Yes.
Okay, so you have a problem with the unfairness that is being created through irresponsibility, right? You don't deserve to
Yeah.
fail if you get if you are responsible, but just because another person is being irresponsible, you cannot accept it and you get really angry, right?
I think it's also impotence.
Okay, but now
But
I see,
yeah,
Bogdan, you are more with yourself than with me because you are trying to
yeah, and
explore
I
the
agree that
worst.
it's not fairness, but I don't feel unfairness. I don't feel it so much. I feel impotence
Okay,
in that
but you said that
situation.
you get really angry.
Yes,
Okay, so you get angry when you are in this situation, when you are affected by Anka, yeah, to this unfair consequence of other irresponsibility, right? You get
yes.
angry. Okay, and how do you express your anger? You're passive or you're aggressive?
I
Or passive aggressive?
depends, but also aggressive. I mean, I don't get angry, but I say sometimes something.
You say something in an aggressive way.
Yes, that
Okay. So you don't do like your sister that she tend to self-blame himself, you blame the other.
I do it in a passive aggressive way. So
Like,
not directly.
what do you do, for example? You don't say hello anymore? What do you do?
No, no, I say something. I don't say directly what bothers me, but
In a subtle way, you mean? In a
in
subtle
a
way.
subtle way, yes.
Okay. And it works or no?
I don't like, I don't, I don't think it works.
Okay, what would you need to do in order to fix the situation, you think?
Be more assertive.
Okay, to say to the person what to do and what you should do instead of saying something subtle in order to express your inner anger.
Yeah, to say what I think is not okay.
And why don't you do it?
Um, because mm, mm, it's not so clear for me what's not okay. So I don't know how to say it in a way that does not offend other people.
Okay, so you said two things now is unclarity, confusion, basically, and the fear of offend the other. Yeah.
Yes.
What's more important, you think, that prevent you from be assertive? Is
The fear of not offending.
okay, you're afraid to offend the other. Yeah.
Yes.
Because what can happen of bad, so bad that if you offend the other.
I destroy my relation in the team.
Ah, okay. So you can lose your team. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not a manager.
Okay, okay.
I,
But this happens just in your team or also in your life outside the job?
yeah, I think outside also.
Okay, so you still have a problem to offend the other, even if you don't.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So okay. Now, I would like Luisa or Sorina or Saria to propose Bogdan. It sounds strange, but what's positive about offend the other? Sorin is surprised about this strange question. Okay, Sorin, since you are surprised, you are the first to answer.
Okay, my face betrayed me again.
Yes.
Um, yeah, offending is like attacking, right? So it's like doing something harmful.
Okay,
This is the meaning behind.
and what can be good about attacking by offending?
Mm, the only good thing that I can imagine is when the attacked person is doing something immoral.
Uh,
And by attacking them, you bring back the balance somehow, the fairness.
oh, it's a way to balance the fairness.
Yes.
Okay, let's try. Let's collect some idea and then we check with Bogdan which idea he prefers. Luisa, you have one?
I have the same issue as Bogdan, actually. I am afraid to offend the others. So, um,
Okay, but can you think something good or no about that?
waking them up to some reality they don't otherwise have access to.
And how of be offensive can waking people up?
It changes maybe the perspective and what they believe about themselves. So they believe themselves to be in some way, and somebody comes with another perspective about themselves, and they have to face
Okay,
this new perspective
so
and
offense can
integrate it somehow.
okay, so offense can be a shock therapy basically.
Yes.
Can create awareness. Okay, so next workshop you're gonna lead, Luisa. You have to offense at least three participants, yeah, okay. To wake them up, yeah.
No, I think I leave this to Alex. He's better at this.
By the way, I noticed last summer that you have this problem, that you have the fear of let's say, makes people suffering in the workshop, and this makes you sometimes too sweet, yeah. So you should be in a way a bit more offensive, yeah, in your workshop. I think you could make people think more by being more confrontive, more challenging, more provocative in a way, yeah. But I think it's a nice idea, this to waking people up through the offense. And let's take the
Like
last.
pulling a bucket of cold water and putting it
Okay.
on their head or
Okay,
something.
yes, shock therapy. Yes, shock.
Yeah.
Zaria, you have another one?
So,
So,
offending someone can be
yes.
good if, not if, uh, is good because you make them more, you help them to accept bad words,
To accept what?
bad words from others.
And why that's good?
Sorry?
And what's good about accepting bad word?
That it makes them more powerful because they can accept and not suffer from other opinions.
Okay, you give them the chance to detach themselves from other people's judgment, to be, let's say, more free from other people's judgment.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if it works in Romanian, but
Hmm.
uh, by the way, Luisa, since I saw Alex appearing a bit before, I think he gave a nice example of shocking therapy last summer with this guy from university. I don't know if you were there during the workshop, but he told him, I think you're arrogant because this and this and this, and he never show up again, I guess, right? Yeah. I know he gave a bad report to the university about Alex and Focus. No, Alex? Yeah.
Yes.
So in that case, you think you woke him up or no?
I don't think I did anything for him.
Yeah, but what do you see something good in be offensive?
Um, well, when someone is resisting a lot, you can you can exaggerate something and then you risk offending the person, but the intention is not to offend them but to make them see. So this exaggeration is a tool like any others, and if they get offended, then that's a new side of theirs that they show. But others are not offended when you exaggerate, and that also says something about them, and it's you can talk.
Okay. So you are saying that like Luisa is a way to wake him up, but also is a way to get information from their reactions.
Yes, and sometimes you are surprised by the positive reaction to your provocation, that they take it and they say, haha, I see what you did.
Yeah.
Fuck you, but let's continue talking.
Yeah, yeah. And by the way, irony and sarcasm are good instrument to do it, yeah? Because in a way you can provoke people, and if they don't take well, you can always say I was joking, yeah? But
It's always
otherwise you can
good.
give them the opportunity to face some weak points of themselves.
It's always good to say it in a funny way, sarcastic way. Romanians like sarcasm and irony. They find it funny, so they might take it better. But if you're aggressive directly, no, doesn't work.
Yeah, yeah. I just wrote the difference between irony and sarcasm for the text I'm writing with Matthias. By the way, you did something like that in your show, stand-up comedian show, where I don't know how you called it, but when you basically you pay a tribute to a person by saying bad stuff to him, right?
A roast. It's a roast.
Roast. Okay, that's a bit. That's the idea, right? In a way, also. You
Yes,
provoke.
yes. To provoke friends who say fuck you to each other or make fun of each other, that builds good rapport.
Yeah. By the way, I forgot to say before in the speech, but I checked that a way to cure people, especially among English and American psychology and psychiatric, is calling the venting anger, something like that. So basically, is giving the opportunity people to be offensive, to break stuff, to insult each other, to scream, yeah, to do something crazy. And they saw that in different cases, people felt better, and a way to express the wrath was a way to deal with their own um, symptom. Because sometimes when you keep wrath in yourself, you could have a problem, not just psychologically, but also in your body, yeah, in your way to digest or your headache, stuff like that. Yeah.
Did you say vent? Venting?
Venting anger, I guess.
Yes, venting.
Venting, yeah. Who said? Luisa, what Oscar Wilde actually said was sarcasm is the lowest form of wit, but the highest form of intelligence, and a pretty sarcastic man himself. I think maybe the first part of the quote was meant sarcastically. Okay. Okay, Oscar. I think we were speaking about Oscar Brenifier at the first. Okay. Because Oscar used a lot of provocation, by the way, in the philosophical. I don't know if you were there when he consulted the Spanish woman. I think he was provoking her a lot. Were you there, Alex?
That's 3 years ago already.
3 years ago, yeah. But I was shocked a bit about that consultation because it was really, at one point I had the impression he was attacking her so much.
Listen, Andrea, I'll send you this after this. The first workshop I ever met Oscar, he was with us, with Romanians from the university. I never seen him so provocative ever.
Okay, send
Ever.
me when
I'll send it to you so you, but believe me, I don't think it's just an impression. He was in a fit form of high rage and wrath and irony, but
Yeah.
very good.
Okay, I will watch it with pleasure. So, Bogdan, you have plenty of ideas why be offensive can be good. Let me add one. One good reason to be offensive is that you break stupid or bad relationship with people. You lose people, and sometimes it's better to lose people
You
than to
filter.
maintain people. Yeah. So, which argumentation you prefer about the positive side of be offensive?
So I like the idea that it makes other people strong and also it helps you be attacking people in a controlled way so
Okay.
that you don't harm them very much and you don't overdo it.
Okay, so are
And
you ready? Yeah, and then?
and also the idea that, yeah, it's what you said. I think it's very important that you need to filter people and to give them some tests and
Okay. So, Bogdan, are you ready by tomorrow to be offensive and unpolite with your colleagues?
yes.
Okay. If you lose your job, I don't feel responsible, okay? By the way, what do you do, Bogdan?
I'm an engineer in IT. I work in IT.
Okay, be careful. Engineer are very proud people. Yes.
Yes, I know.
Okay. All right. You want to add something, Bogdan, or you're good?
Uh, No, no.
Okay, we have just some minutes left. I would like you to now we conclude the session by sharing some thoughts or metal comments about what we have done in so far. Any idea surprise you, something you thought that you didn't think before? Anything you want to share? By the way, let me check. I'm curious to see. Okay, Luisa said injustice. Oh, Kanka patriarchy. Okay, Soren, unfairness. We discussed a bit about unfairness. And losing my time. Oh, just a question. I'm curious. Zaria, are you there? I wanted to ask you just one question, and I want to consult you. But do you have a problem just with the idea to losing time or losing stuff in in general in your life, or is it specifically with time?
Just losing time, I think.
Ah, okay, okay. So now, any conclusions? Any last idea to share about what we have done, or also the dynamic? Bogdan?
For me, I think this idea was a little surprising that in some situations, uh, wrath uh, is needed. Like in when you need to, yeah, somebody crosses a line and then you don't have to think at all. You just need to do something. And
Okay, so this idea that wrath can be used in a positive way surprised you, right?
yes, I was thinking about the connection between wrath and idealistic. You cannot be idealistic if you always think about.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Sometimes if you think it's not, you are, it, uh, yeah, I cannot find my words. Sorry.
By the way, Bogdan, if you take Jesus as example, he got much
Yes,
angry
also.
when he was in the temple against the Jewish people that represent the formal law there, yeah? So in a way, even Jesus used the rage at a reaction, a destructive reaction, yeah?
Yeah.
So I think there is a positive side, yes.
Yes. Yes. So I'm thinking there has to be some limits that when you cross, I don't think anymore and I just act.
Yes, but the reason and also the practice can help us to set the limit, yeah, and to respect the limit.
Yeah.
And by the way, in sport, wrath can be very very good, especially in fighting. There are some fighters that they carry so much wrath inside, but they are able, even because of the trainer, to put the wrath in the sport, and they become very very good. Some fighters, for example, they have a lot of wrath because they have a bad past, a lot of traumas stuff, but they are able to use that wrath to be good.
Yeah.
Have you seen
So it's,
Jordan series? Last Dance? No.
yeah, yeah. Yes.
In one
Yes.
episode, Jordan says that he was making up stories against
Mm.
himself. He was making up that other people offend him to feel the rage and to use that rage to win the match. So in a way,
Yeah.
it was lying to himself to create rage and wrath in order to be the best. So sometimes wrath can be used in a good way. Yeah,
Yes. It's a great source of energy.
exactly. Yes, yes, exactly. All right. Thank you. Someone else? Sorin, you didn't speak so much at this workshop. What do you think?
Yeah, I enjoyed very much listening to all the discussions. And I think that the main food for thought that I take from this session is this part where pride is behind having problems with unfairness, let's say.
Okay. Because you have the same problem with unfairness. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, in a way, pride is why we are not able to use wrath in a positive way, because we don't detach ourselves enough. And so that's why we tend to react in a self-destructive way often, because we are too pride. So you have to work on our pride and reduce that.
But when you say, I heard a lot of discussions about attachment, but it's not very clear attachment to what or detachment from what.
Okay, for example, can be attachment to your own image, to your reputation, like Achilles at the beginning, yeah?
Mhm.
Felt humiliated in front to everybody, and he
Okay.
wanted to prove his value by showing that without him they cannot win, yeah? And they let a lot of innocent soldier die, yeah? So in a way, it can be the attachment to your own image, your honor, your ego can be your, some belief you have about yourself is still part of your image.
Okay.
So what you are touched the most about yourself, Sorin?
Good question.
Honor, reputation?
Hmm. I'm not sure.
Okay, so you have a homework now to
Oh,
think. I think it's important for you to clarify what's the nature of your attachment, because if you understand it, for you it could be easier to be less attached to yourself. So try to explore to check, yeah.
so only as an aspect of myself.
Yeah, no, of course there are many things we are all attached about ourselves, but usually it's useful to see which is the most relevant for me, for you. Okay, so the most relevant attachment about yourself, what you want to defend the most about yourself. I think it's
Okay.
an important question that everybody should ask oneself. All right, Luisa, you have want to say something as a conclusion?
I've always thought about rage as being a very good engine for energy to do things, to act. So this is not a new idea. I've actually even used it, but I didn't connect it with pride normally. So this was a new connection to connect it with pride.
Okay. So like Suran, yes. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Zaria, last comment. Thank you, Luisa.
No comments. I liked it. That's it.
Okay. You are in your passiveness, Zaria. Okay. And Alex, you want to say something to conclude?
Sometimes I only get ideas when I start speaking. Otherwise, it's a blank. Uh, Pride and wrath. I was expecting more. I associate wrath as something very aesthetic and very visceral, very strident, and then we had a very soft discussion about it.
Or you
So in
wanted
my
us
mind,
to get angry between each other? You want a fight. You wanted a fight.
well, to perform some wrath to see it, but I didn't see any wrath around here.
Well,
We
we are here to reason about wrath, not to be to be angry.
we are here to say we all express wrath passively. Everyone here.
You know what? I think that angry is one, or wrath is one of the most common emotion, one of the most popular emotions. What I see usually in people is rage, basically, but also often in myself, yeah. But in order to reason, I have to overcome my rage or to detach myself. But often people are too angry to think, so they become impotent, basically, yeah.
This summer, an idea came up when we were at dinner. The berserker, if you remember. Berserker.
What was that? I don't remember.
It was from a Nordic culture. It's a warrior who uses drugs to enrage himself so he can go into battle like a wild
Okay,
rabid beast.
like Jordan, I said before to Bogdan.
Like Jordan?
Michael Jordan was using this strategy in order to carry more angry against the opponent and to be the best in the match.
Yeah. Yes, yes. Also, I wondered, did the idea of wrath of God appear today? Because it's a common expression, the wrath of God.
No, no, we didn't speak. I think it was okay. It's a nice idea, especially in the old Jewish tradition, let's say. It was more
Yeah,
common. Yeah.
and in the judgment in the Christian paradigm, because we're talking about sins and wrath is associated to some more huge phenomenon. We as humans cannot contain it, so we might give it negative connotation. But when it's about God, the wrath of God, He's supposed to punish us for our transgressions.
Yeah, in that case, should have a positive dimension. Yeah. And just to answer, I know it's a big topic, but to be short, the God's wrath there is when humans don't respect the divine order.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why pride, for example, is one of the reason why uh, God tend to punish people. For example, devil is devil because he's being pride. Yeah, he wanted to be like
Yeah,
God. Or Adam and Eve, they got punished because they didn't respect the rule of God. They wanted to know more about good and evil. Yeah.
yeah,
Or also Prometeo, Prometeo, the Greek myth. He didn't
yes,
respect the gods because he gave the fire another invention to people, to humans. Yeah, so he went against the divine order. So every time we go against the order by being pride or getting to knowledge, stuff like that, usually there is a reaction by God which shows his wrath, which has a positive dimension because he remember us that we are humans and we should
yes,
respect our mortal limits and our human finitude. And in a way,
yes.
there is a big connection with philosophical practice, I guess, because Socrates, I think, in another way, invite people to reconcile with the finitude of the speech, and they absolutize their mind, basically. Yeah.
Well, then he suffered the wrath of the Athenians.
Oh, yes, you can say that. Yeah. like Jesus, by the way. They
Yeah,
both get killed. Yeah.
the God gets killed by the humans.
Yeah, I mean, the Jesus, yes. In the case of Socrates, was a philosopher that got killed by humans.
Now, Socrates is not a god, you say?
Okay, maybe in focus, yes. Maybe probably there is.
He's in my canon.
Okay, what?
I will Saint Socrates, I call him.
Saint Socrates.
I'm just joking now.
Okay.
Let's
You
let's
you are
stop this.
you are trying the jokes for next stand-up comedy. All right, all right. So I will invite you to the next last appointment with the last deadly sin, and I would like at the end to make you with you also reflections about the idea of vice in general, because we spoke about different vice, but maybe we didn't focus about the dynamic of vice. What is a vice? So I want to get the opportunity in the last session to also to reflect about that in 2 weeks. Okay, if you have any question, anything, you can write to me, and see you in 2 weeks then.
Andrea,
Yeah.
can you stay 1 minute? Can you stay 1 minute? Yeah,
All
with
right.
me?
Yes, I will stop the recording anyway.
Yes.